Encanto. Down to its core, it's a film about a family fighting, yet it is one of the most captivating Disney movies we have ever gotten. It manages to not only keep my attention the whole time, but make me care about its characters in a way you can't with many other movies. Now, first of all, what do I mean when I say low stakes storytelling? Now, previously I made a video about Aladdin and simple storytelling, but that's not what I refer to here. Low stakes stories are stories that don't impact much of the world around them. For example, Spider Man Homecoming is relatively low stakes for the MCU. It's just about thieves with high tech, while in Avengers film, the whole world is at stake. Now, what is a high stakes and low stakes can change based on context, but normally low stakes affect mainly the character, and high stakes normally it's a large amount of people which are affected. Now, as low stakes go, Encanto has very low stakes. The main conflict of the film is about the family falling apart, and when they fall apart, so does the house. So, how can a film about a house falling down be one of the most compelling Disney films? Well, first of all, we get more time with characters. In this film, since we don't get much world building, we don't need to, the locations are the same throughout the movie, we have a lot of time to focus on the amazing madrigals. Characters like Camillo, who in other films would be forgettable, here, although he doesn't have too much time, he still makes a great impression, and I do care about his character. And just like in other movies, each song represents an important part of the story. In this case, each one is about a different character's trauma. Waiting on a Miracle for Mirabel, Surface Pressure for Luisa, We Don't Talk About Bruno, for someone we don't talk about, and What Else Can I Do for Isabella, Dos Orgullitas for Abuela. And while in most Disney movies, the songs there are emotional moments, each character has your I Want song and love songs, all that. Here it goes to a whole nother level of emotion. These songs are kind of the I Want song, but for each character. And because we care for the character, it adds to some sort of compelling event. And as the film goes on, we care for more and more characters, and we just care about the family as general more and more. So when we get Casita falling, right after Abuela's, and then right after we get Abuela's trauma, we really, really care. We see what everyone has gone through and know how much they love their family and what they'll do for it. So to see it fall apart, it's so impactful for everyone. And then you follow it up with Dos Orgullitas and show that off that all Abuela's lost, the so-called antagonist of the film, see all that she's lost and see why she cares about the family so much and why she did what she did. It's powerful. And you can't have this much emotion with a higher stakes movie because there just isn't time. In Raya and the Last Dragon, we know the motivations for each character and the fellowship group thing, but we don't know why it is so important to the characters. And just because of that, we can't connect with anyone besides maybe Raya and Namari, but even them, it isn't enough. To me, although I do love my big epic stories, I need to care about the characters first. The characters are the foundation of your story. If you want to have a good story, it needs a strong base, and your characters, if they are good, are that base, and when your characters are good, they can go in any direction. Now, not everywhere you go will be good, but the story is strong enough where it doesn't completely fall apart. So here, by focusing on the characters primarily, it gives us a reason to care about the low stakes storytelling in that movie. Because once we see the bond the family has, the stakes aren't the house falling apart. It's the family, which we grew to love throughout the movie, cracking and falling apart. Casita isn't only a metaphor for the family. It waxes and wanes as the family's relationship does. But the house, Casita, it's not the thing we care about. The family Madrigal is by making the characters the stakes instead of something else getting destroyed, in this case Casita. It's so perfect because it makes it necessary to develop the characters, and by developing the characters, them being the point of conflict also, it makes us care about the conflict because the conflict is the characters. It's a cycle which, by keeping the story just about the characters, it makes the film better because the characters, which is the film's base, are better, and because the characters are the plot is better. And that compounding detail makes the film work. It makes the characters and the plot synonymous, which is risky, but in the right hands, can make art like we see happen in this film. When it comes down to it, Encanto is a film about characters, and because of that, the stakes are higher than ever. Saving humanity isn't comprehensible in the minds of most, but family conflict is an experience which we all share. Conflict isn't only a value because, like your characters, that's the human problem. Hercules is amazing, but not too many people can relate to fighting gods of death to prove your worth that you're a good hero. By having lower stakes storytelling, it also makes the stakes much more relatable. Low stakes storytelling doesn't work for all stories, nor for all people, but when applied properly, it can be impactful like we see here in Encanto. It can be just as potent, if not more, than your big blockbuster films, even if it is just about a family fighting. By having fleshed out characters and having them be in the face of the film, it makes the stakes relatable, and you can have a story which packs a very emotional punch. While Disney is known for making high stakes and, content and super emotional, having low stakes stories as well from time to time can be a breath of fresh air if they are executed as well as in Encanto. But, anyways, that's all I have to say. Thank you for watching, and what are your thoughts on Encanto? What other parts of the film do you like? And do you like my Bruno costume? And also, I guess, what other Disney films should I cover? All that and more, leave in the comments down below, and stay tuned for another video soon. If you want to see why Neverland and Peter Pan is such a perfect metaphor for childhood, make sure to click on this video. Also, subscribe because there are plenty of more Disney films for me to cover, as well as movies, books, and TV shows from other properties. Once again, thanks for watching. I've been Fictional Fanatics, dressed up as Bruno, and until the next one, I don't have a hood. Bye.